Hey, I told you I was going to call you back. This is going to be part two to things that I wish I knew before I transitioned. Number one, you're going to be hungry all the time. Like, hungry, 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 hungry. I don't know the exact science behind it, but allegedly, estrogen doesn't redistribute the fat that's already on your body. It starts moving the new fat. And so you're hungry and you need to eat so that you can gain weight, so it goes here and it does the thing. Number two, your nipples are gonna hurt, but it's a good thing because it means that they're growing. When I first started HRT, it felt like somebody was just walking around like this. It hurt so bad. Somewhere in like my first 2 to 3 months, it may have been sooner, but like the pain in my nipples was so bad that I ended up going to Walmart to get some like training bras just to keep them from brushing up against my t-shirt. That's how bad it hurt. I didn't want to lay on my stomach. I didn't want anything to touch them. It was just painful, 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 painful. Um, okay, I don't want to do too much. I guess on a scale of 1 to 10, it was probably a 7, but keep in mind I have a low pain tolerance, so do with that information what you will. I've not really seen a lot of people talk about the psychological effects of watching your body change. You might take a hit to your self-esteem on this meds, or at least I did. And the reason being is if you're used to your body looking a certain way, it may be difficult for you to accept some of the changes that's happening to you. And so I started taking estrogen and my breast tissue starts to develop. I was really self-conscious. I was like pulling at my shirt and stuff because it was hugging my chest, and it was a lot for me. What do you think your body is supposed to look like as a biological male? It will begin to look different on these hormones. So just be kind to yourself as you go through this journey and these experiences. This one, okay, from what I've seen online, again, do your own research, but from what I've seen online, this doesn't happen to everyone, but you will stop coming. Or at least you won't do it as much. And so what I mean is, you know how when you have some self-care time and when you're done, like you know, that doesn't happen. Well, it kind of does. Again, like I said, it depends on the person. But we'll talk about me specifically. I okay, pre-medical transition, I used to be a sharpshooter. Not to be too much of my personal business, but I'm talking about like gallons, like. And now I'm almost 2 years drop, like, and that took a hit to my self-esteem too, because I was like, what's wrong with me? Like, if you get on testosterone blockers, it's blocking the testosterone, and I assume like testosterone and sperm go hand in hand. So if you block one, the production of this stops. It was tough, 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 because self-care was a activity that I enjoyed doing, and after losing that ability, the activity to me was no longer fun. But I'll tell you something that I noticed. So if you don't know, I'm in a relationship. If you're watching this, hi. When I'm by myself, like if I'm just doing it, when I'm by myself, if I just have some alone time by myself, I get a couple drops. But when I am doing adult activities with my partner, sharpshooter. Not gallons, maybe like a liter or a quart or something. But it's okay. When I say liter and quart, I'm being dramatic. I don't mean an actual liter, but the volume, like the amount pre versus now by myself, is like from a good amount to like this, and then the amount pre to when I'm with my boyfriend, it's like pre was a good amount, and then with him, it's like, it's more than I would get by myself, if that makes sense. So, and if you just do like a quick Google search in Reddit or something, you'll find people talking about that. But yeah, your ability to orgasm is going to change. Speaking of orgasms, the way that you experience orgasms is going to be so different. You know, when you have self-care, you just do the motion, you know? Now it's like a full body experience. Pre-transition, if I saw something that I was attracted to, a visual cue isn't enough anymore. I have to mentally get myself in the mood for adult activities. Now, what it takes to turn me on now, completely different. And it's not even that it's different, because I'm still attracted to the same things. More so, it takes more effort now. Erections now are like 70%. Like toughness. You know what I mean? It's hard to stay, if you know what I'm talking about. I have to, if I get distracted. This is awful. I hate talking about this. And that may just be my personal experience. It may just take me a lot to get going. Do with this information what you will. That's another thing I wanted to talk about. And again, if you do like a quick Reddit search, you'll find like some threads of people talking about it, or maybe just some conversations online. You ever heard of that saying, use it or lose it? If you don't use it, the tissue will begin to atrophy. And if that happens, it can become very painful to get an erection. Because the tissue is not being actively engaged or something like that. Like I said, I don't know just do some research on it. Specifically, if you have bottom dysphoria and you don't use anything in that area, or you don't like to do anything with that area, just be careful, because I've heard if you don't use it that the tissue can atrophy and it can be painful. So just keep that in mind. Something else that I don't really see talked about, that I just found out about this like a few weeks ago, and I don't know if this is the correct term. This is the term that I found, and so I'm assuming this is what this is, but I found this term called retrograde ejaculation. And basically what that is when you, and it doesn't come out, it just kind of stays in like the urethra. And so you remember how I told you pre-E sharpshooter, but now a drop? I'm still orgasming. It's just in the urethra. So it's like, and you know, like after sex, like you're supposed to pee and stuff and all this stuff. It just, I ran into, oh my God. It's as if I'll orgasm and then there's a window afterwards where I'm leaking. I don't know if it's pre-cum or I don't know what it is. And that's not an issue that I had pre-E. And I'm assuming it's because pre-E, when you come, you just do it. But because there's not the pressure or whatever behind it pushing it out, it just kind of sits in there, and then it just kind of like leaks out. Now, when I say leak, I don't mean like it's seeping through all my clothes. You can see me down the street wet spotting my jeans. It's not like that. It's just, you can see like little, like it, the best way I can explain it is it looks like pre-cum, I guess, and it's just in my underwear. So if that bothers you, something that you can do, this is something that I did for a little while in the beginning when it first started happening to me because I was embarrassed, is I bought like panty liners and that took care of it. So if that's something that may bother you, then you could try panty liners. I've seen some people just take tissue and put it in there just to catch the spill. But at this point now, it doesn't really bother me. It's just, I've kind of accepted it as this is just how my body is now. So on that topic though, I will say, like, and this is a hygiene thing, because of that, you may notice like a sex smell lingering. Or like, you know how sperm has a smell? You may notice that smell lingering around you. may be because of that retrograde ejaculation, or just I ran into a situation at one point where I would like have sex, I would have self-care, and then I would go shower and move on. And then I'm like, I smell sex. Like, what is that? Like, I smell sperm. Like, what is that? And I realized, I was like, oh, like it's staying in there, and it's like it just, if that's a problem that you're having, or if that's a problem that you ever run into, this is the workaround that I found. After you finish, like you've orgasmed, you're done. Before you shower, give yourself like a 15 to 20 minute window, and just as you're like cleaning up, I like to take my hand and like start at the bottom, the base, and just squeeze. Don't hurt yourself, but like squeeze and like to like drain, if that makes sense. Like get all of it out, because there's not that pressure behind it anymore, so it'll just stay in there. Obviously pee after you're finished, but give that area a little bit of extra attention. Now, once you notice that you're not coming as much, start to make sure that you give that area extra attention to make sure that you're getting that out, because I don't want you to have any bacteria issues, or I'm not sure what all can happen. I've not seen anything negative outside of, like I mentioned, that sex smell kind of lingering. But just make sure that you're thoroughly cleaning to prevent any issues is, I think, the best way to put that. Specifically on this, because I know when I talk about sex stuff, I get real. If you have any questions, or you've experienced some of these things and you want someone to talk to about it, you can DM me on Instagram. I'll put it right here. And just DM me, and when I see it, I'll get back to you and we can talk about experiences. And yeah, or also just maybe look online and see if you can find someone else that has a similar experience. 9 times out of 10, if you're experiencing it in your transition, I'm sure at least one other person has. To save yourself time, whatever I'm in America, by the way, so I don't know like Euro shoe sizes, but whatever your shoe size is in men's, add 2 to it, and that's your shoe size in women's. So if you wear an 8 in men's, you wear a 10 in women's. When it comes to shirts, generally, in my experience, I've seen whatever size shirt you wear in men's go up a size for women's. So if you wear a medium size t-shirt in men's, you more than likely wear a large in women's. That's just been my experience. Test it and see if it works. There's a way to measure pants, because I know like men's pants is like waist by length, but girls' pants is just a number. I don't remember off the top of my head, but by the time that you watch this, I will have scoured the internet and found something. Check the description box. I will put how to figure that out below. I feel like I have to throw this one in there because, so if you start taking HRT by the pill like I did, you may see people online telling you to dissolve it underneath your tongue, and that'll make you more femme. It'll help you, whatever. My doctor told me not to do that because you run the risk of overdosing. And when we say overdosing, we don't mean like death. I don't assume. I hope not. But what my doctor told me was, if you take too much estrogen orally, it could affect your liver. So if you're going to up your dose and take 3 pills instead of 2, or take 2 instead of 1, if you're going to take more than what they prescribed, please be careful. Because my doctor said that it could have a negative effect on your liver. And again, this is just if you take the pills orally. I have a friend girl that's on the shot, and she's like, she just a little bit more. I don't know. I'm just telling you what the doctor told me about the oral estrogen. I think that's all I have for you today. I should really start making a list so I don't blank when I get in front of you. I tell you what. Take this process, chew on it, and if I think of something else, I'll call you back. I hope that this video was helpful. as always, if you're interested in keeping up with me in between uploads, you can follow me on Instagram right here. I also have the link to that in my description box below. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Peace and love, you guys. Hey, just a couple life updates real quick. I got a new wig, so as we can see, and also I got some new glasses, so hold on. What do we think? Do we like them? I'm gonna get close so you can see them. I love my new glasses so much. I got accepted into the YouTube Partner Program, so very happy about that. Thank you to everybody that has watched and commented and liked and subscribed. It means a lot to me and it helps out my channel so much, so I really appreciate it. And I have this ability now to roll out like membership tiers. And so I need to know like suggestions of what kind of special perks that you guys want to see. I've gotten a couple of comments and DMs about things that you guys would like to see, but early access to videos, vlogs, like behind the scenes content, Q&A, whatever you guys are interested in. If you don't say something, I'm just gonna pick something. And yeah, so membership tiers coming soon, and be on the lookout. And if you want to be a part of the club, then you can do that.